hear it in everything. Pentatonic, it's 5 notes. But I'm always like using the minor pentatonic. And then sometimes I'm kind of moving in a half step before or working chromatically. And I'm improvising, so then I start going all over the place.
Yeah, but
once you learn that pattern, and you get really expressive with it and explore its possibilities and just let go, even sometimes mistakes are cool, it comes out good. So I'm gonna just do a little thing. See, half step.
How long does it take time between the time you're training, you training with your guitar, and the time you feel your guitar, you feel the music. You don't play music, you feel it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. How long does it take?
It depends. Like if it's a long day at work, it takes a longer way to get there. If it's a day without work, then I'm instantly there. Also, like on the road, it's good because I could sit on the bus for long periods of time and admire the most glorious composition, the sky and nature and everything. And a lot of that is what I feel, you know? You look at the clouds and they're endless. You look at the road and it's endless. You look at the water and it continues to flow. So a lot of it, that feeling is in the nature that surrounds us, you know? But also, the best way I describe it, because meanwhile improvising, I'm never in one particular place. It's like when you're driving down the road and you're listening to the radio and you're trying to find the right station and then you hit that jam and it's like, yeah, that's the way.
Definitely.
It's the same way with the jam. And sometimes it's a strange situation, like if I'm hired to like play like at an art gallery or a restaurant or something like that, because sometimes like that I'm trying to get there but I'm not necessarily there, and then it's oftentimes when it's like when it's over, you know, then I'm there. And everybody will be like closing everything up and everything, and I'll be like, you know what, I'm there now. Can I just stay another hour or whatever? And I don't get paid for that part, but it's cool. I have to make sure I feel it somewhere in it. Yeah, there was a lot of deep feelings, a lot of, you know, things that I couldn't quite express, and I was able to just kind of like tap into it every time. But then I realized I that's martyring too. Like I cannot do that all the time, every time. But of course, whenever there's a point in life or something going on around me that just doesn't vibe well, I'm always going to be more apt to express it quicker.
Yeah.
But I also would like to just enjoy like the everyday things, like, you know, this beautiful day, meeting cool people and energy of people. Like sometimes if I'm sitting there and I see like a couple and I know where they're at and they're having a moment, I could find it and there it is, and I could create that experience for them very carefully. If it's kids are often so receptive right away, no filters, nothing, they get it right away. You know, in Washington DC, I like to help a lot of homeless people with my music.
Oh, that's nice.
They'll stop and they'll be like, oh, like it catches that feeling in them better than a drug or some alcohol or something. And so
you give them a break from the life they have.
And nobody listens to them, so I'll listen to them. Sometimes nobody listens to me and they're listening to me. So I'm like, I don't walk anywhere I go judging anybody or anything, because we're all human beings. You know, that there are high points and good points in our life, but we also have low points. And sometimes in some of those lowest points, even though well fed and housed and everything, like no problem, I've met random people on the streets who are like always give you a word of encouragement or something. So I do a big part in giving to my community and other communities. I'm pretty receptive to people wherever I travel, and the most important thing to me is like the heart of the matter. When I shake somebody's hands and I really feel their spirit, this is welcoming. And if it's not there, I'll just keep traveling, you know, because sometimes it's just not meant to be there, you know. But yeah, so typically what I do is once a year I just set myself up and I go to different cities and I just cultivate, and sometimes I meet local musicians, sometimes I just meet everyday people or travelers just doing the same thing, and that's life, you know, just making the most of it for yourself. Sets, Provence, Egmont, all these places. What happened was I was playing with another guy who was from southern France, and he learned this amazing like rasgueado technique from these gypsies. And he was just like, his rhythm was always so on it, and his hand movement was always so flawless and smooth that whenever we go to places and play together, like it was like a never-ending story, because he would keep the rhythm going and I would always play the leads, and we complemented each other well in our playing. And our jam sessions were always very special to me, because they didn't just start like we're jamming. We would have a long conversation and we'd talk about our lives and explore depths of music and art and the roads that we see as artists and people. And then after like a good half hour, 2 hours of talking and eating, it's like, okay, let's play music.
Good.
And we played anywhere. We played in restaurants, we played in parking lots, we played, it didn't matter, wherever, because we really understood each other. And what was cool about that was I could be a big brother to him, because he was here in the States and his time had expired, and some people were, you know, giving him a lot of hurt. And I said, you know what, you don't have to worry about that, because you've got more in your hands, in your life, in your possession, better than that. So this is my interpretation of a Deep Purple classic called When a Blind Man Cries.
Okay, thank you. Let's go.